back to another episode of All Things Honor. I'm Kimmy. We're using a new ring light. Things are looking great. What's not looking great? The fact that we are 12 days away from Death Before Dishonor, and we have how many matches announced? One. How many storylines do we have building in this pay-per-view, you may ask? One-ish. Why? I don't know. We're going to talk about it all. And here we go. So, first, to start off the episode,
Gringo Loco versus Commander. And poor Gringo Loco, because this guy, he'll have momentum and then he'll lose. He can't get on a roll in Ring of Honor. But I do like the pairing between Alex Abrahantes and Commander, especially if like the Lucha Bros are going to be more prominent in Ring of Honor. Makes more sense for Alex to be down there and get some new friends. And I mean, I'm also assuming that Vikingo is a part of this, but we didn't see Vikingo this week, so I don't know. But Commander wins. This was fine. Good way to start the episode. In Canada, we were in Canada again this week. Yay, Commander. Lee Moriarty and Big Bill cut a promo next. Moriarty says that now that the firm is officially over, he and Big Bill decided to come to Ring of Honor and become a prominent team within the tag team division. And Big Bill adds that there's no consecutive way that the boys are going to pick up the win against this tag team. Sure, why not? Next, we had Daniel Garcia versus Christopher Daniels. And if you saw earlier this week, Daniel Garcia tweeted this picture, and he was probably like 16, 17 years old as a fan with Christopher Daniels. So, like, how could you not cheer for him to win? And guess what? He won. This was a classic, like, teacher versus protege matchup. This is obviously a way for Garcia to get a lot more wins as we approach Death Before Dishonor, because I'm going to assume here that Daniel is going to verse Shibata and then Daniel's going to win. Now, is this actually going to happen? I don't know. But I'm going to assume it is. And of course, on Twitter all this weekend, you've seen the gif of Garcia twirling Aubrey Edwards because Daniel Garcia likes dancing. And yeah, that's another thing. This match was good though. Daniel on Ring of Honor is fantastic. Willie Mack cuts a promo because we have a six-man scramble happening, and the winner will receive $25,000. He talks about all the things he could win with $25,000, including getting on a plane and going to Jamaica and having a whole vacation. And he's confident that he is going to walk out of the six-man scramble victorious and win that cash prize. Sure, six-man scrambles are fun. Next, we had the Gates of Agony versus Action Andretti and Darius Martin. And I've said it every week. I do love the dynamic between Martin and Andretti. I think that this is a great tag team. I want to see how they're going to kind of like finagle what's going to happen when Dante comes back. Because I've heard that Dante is ahead of schedule. Don't know how true that is, but maybe we'll see him before the end of 2023. The dynamic between all four men in this match was really strong. And the Gates of Agony was able to keep up with the quickness of Andretti and Martin, and Prince Nana distracts the ref to get the Gates of Agony the upper hand in a big W. Because, as we're going to talk about, why were the six-man titles not defended? No one knows. Because titles are not defended on this show. Next, we have Zach Patterson, Mark K. Martin, and Rip Impact versus The Righteous. This was a squash. There's not much to say here. This is just a total squash. The Righteous and Stu Grayson won. Next, we had Lee Moriarty and Big Bill versus the boys. And I personally wish Moriarty was not stuck in this tag team because if you remember, within the first month of Ring of Honor TV, Moriarty was putting on classic singles matches every single week. What happened? Like, wasn't this the point of Ring of Honor? I don't understand. This match was fine. I did like the spot where like Big Bill was like facing off with the Tate brothers and they went on each other's shoulders to try to match the height of Big Bill. I thought that was really funny. But Moriarty and Bill, they moved to 3-0. Are they gonna verse the Lucha Bros? Because fun facts, guys, they're tag team champions. Have we seen them? Nope. But I mean, we've seen them, but not defend their titles. That was the point of that. For the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship, we have another proving ground match. It is Athena versus Eliza Sparks, and Athena is wearing a shirt that says the mo um the mom in tonight's local jobber. It was really funny. Big fan of that. Sparks was in Ring of Honor in early 2010. She had a good effort. It was not enough. Athena now moves to 29-0. And after the match, Athena continues to beat down Sparks to show her dominance within the Ring of Honor Women's division. I don't know where this is going because if you saw Athena's promo last night on Collision, it was almost hinting that maybe at the pay-per-view it's going to be Athena versus Willow, but I'm going to be really upset because I want the finals for the Owen Hart tournament to be Athena versus Sky Blue to run back the match that I had at Ring of Honor last month or 2 months ago. And if Willow beats Athena, that ruins my whole plan here. So Loki hoping that does not happen. But anyway, Athena wins. Next, we have JD Drake versus Tony Nese, and versus what eventually will be Mark Briscoe. Because before the match started, Nese told Drake that he is close to becoming like the rest of the fat, disgusting people within Canada. They both started trashing traditional Canadian foods, and then they were interrupted by Mark Briscoe. He says he has talked to his dear friend Tony Khan, and now this match is a triple threat. For the first half of the match, Nese and Briscoe double teamed or Nese and Drake double teamed against Briscoe, so it was like a 2-on-1 thing we had. And then they were also fighting over different exercises to do. So like Tony Nese would do in and outs, and JD Drake didn't want to do that. Then they would fight. But because they were bickering, neither of them got the win. Mark Briscoe prevails as he gains more momentum for the pay-per-view in 2 weeks. And now this is going to get interesting. And I wonder why we even did this. Because now we have Eddie Kingston promo all the way from Japan because he won the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Championship last week. And he is also in the G1 tournament. Because of this, he cannot be a Death Before Dishonor. So he calls out Mark Briscoe to be the one to defeat Castagnoli. Kingston says that he respects the Briscoe name. He even wore Jay's shirt on night 1 of the New Japan tapings that they had when he teamed with Rocky Romero. He says that it's Mark's turn to become the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion and to continue the Briscoe legacy within Ring of Honor. This promo was really good. Loved it. Huge fan. Now we're going to move on to the Mark Briscoe promo, and I'm going to give you my why is this happening. So Briscoe says although he has said throughout his entire career that he's wanted to win the television title, and this was the story we were building to for the last month, it is time to follow in his brother's footsteps and capture the World Heavyweight Championship. Castagnoli interrupts and says that Mark Briscoe knows he doesn't need to follow in his brother's footsteps. But he used to stand side by side with his brother. He wouldn't want to compete with him. He says Briscoe is not ready to capture the World Heavyweight Championship gold, and he's ready to prove that that's for dishonor. So, like I said, we've been building to a TV championship match. Why are we going for the world title? There were so many other things you could do here. Like, hell, do someone from the Elite to make it make sense because they're feuding on AEW TV. I don't understand. This is obviously a way just to get the title off Castagnoli because he's going to go towards AEW. He's not going to be in Ring of Honor anymore, which I'm fine with. But still, why? 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 Next, we had Diamante versus Vanessa Craven. And congratulations because Diamante signed a full-time AEW contract. Hell yeah. Her hard work in Ring of Honor this past month has really paid off. She was in control for most of the matchup, and she now moves to 2 wins in a row. Next, we had our 6-man mayhem match for $25,000. It was Shane Taylor, Josh Woods, Brian Cage, Willie Mack, Dalton Castle, and Trent Seven. And this was such a weird dynamic of individuals. But if you've been following my Ring of Honor reviews, you know how much I hate multi-man matches. There's too much going on. It gets very confusing. But there's $25,000 at stake here, so it may have been worth it. Dalton Castle's entrance, where he says that he's going to go to the farmer market and he's listing all these things he's going to buy for $25,000, was absolutely hilarious. And although there was a lot of great wrestling here, it was hard to keep up. And Brian Cage goes to 16 in a row. I don't know why Cage won. Like I feel like this was the perfect time to like have him lose because it was a multi-man match. I personally would have went with Willie Mack or even Shane Taylor, but you do you, TK. You do you. For our main event, we had the Infantry and Trish Adora versus the Kingdom, and I was a huge fan that the infantry had matching gear. This was great. And before the match starts, Maria says that she is not medically cleared to compete. And since she is someone that is all about giving out opportunities, she was given the opportunity to Leyla Hirsch to take her place in this match. We have not seen Leyla Hirsch in over a year. She was sidelined with a really bad knee injury. And this honestly seemed a little rushed. It seemed like they were very much, hey, you have 5 minutes, just hit everything. One of the other disappointing things was Layla Hirsch barely got a reaction, but if this happened on Dynamite or Rampage or probably even Collision, it would have been a huge reaction. But it didn't happen because it was on Ring of Honor. Sad face. And depending on when this happened, like if it was after the Collision tapings, people probably went home, or even if it was before the Collision tapings, not everyone was probably in the building. So that was kind of disappointing. Maria helps distract the referee for Hirsch to pick up the win for the Kingdom. We then see Leyla Hirsch cut a promo. She said that Maria needed someone to get the job done, and she stepped up to the plate. She's here to stay in Ring of Honor, and as this company is known for innovation, which she knows how to do very well, and for anyone that's willing to step in the ring with her, good luck. Now, I don't think that she's going to wrestle Athena at the pay-per-view. I think it's way too quickly, especially because it seems as if they want to try to position Layla to be the one to defeat Athena, and I think on a 2 week build, it wouldn't make sense. So maybe final battle. I think, like, you'll have Athena hold the title for a full year. I think that makes a little bit more sense. But like I was saying earlier, there is no reason why we are 12 days out. There's only one match announced. And I can't even sit here and try to predict the whole rest of the card because there's no storylines going on. I can assume that Daniel Garcia is going to wrestle Shibata because he's been in pure rules matches. But we've had so many tag teams be so dominant. I can't predict who the Lucha Bros are going to face. I can't even begin to predict what trios team is going to face the Embassy. I just think it's a little ridiculous. I think that the wrestling has been on pace. It's great. It's fantastic. It always is. But Ring of Honor definitely needs to work on storylines because there's no reason with 12 days out. I should not know what this card is. But I will say that they did listen to me because we didn't see the board of directors this week. And I've been complaining about that. So they did listen. And some fun news for you all. If you did not see, I will be on the Ring of Honor Media Scrum after Death Before Dishonor. I'll be there and I'll be on the Scrum. Super excited to do that. So, yay! But yeah, that's it for me. Make sure to, if you did not want to listen to this whole thing, you could read my article on it, which is coming out this week. And I will see you all next time for another episode of All Things Honor.